Hello. They call me the In-Depth Detective. Hi, I'm the In-Depth Detective. Welcome to that show with that same name. This is the series where we look at the biggest controversies, stories, mysteries, troubled productions, troubled developments, whatevers of your favorite games, movies, shows, whatevers. Today, we look at neither of those. We don't look at any game, we don't look at any show, we don't look at any movie, we don't look at any reality TV show on CBS, like how one episode was. Today, we look at a media network that served as a YouTube network for many of the biggest creators on the platform, many of which you know today. I'm of course talking about Machinima, their rise and fall. While you heard their name just now and you probably want to go like, who? Oh yeah, them! Their rise and fall is one that is quite interesting, yet not talked about too often. I guess because it didn't happen too long ago. But let's get into it. But before we do that, you know what to do. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment, or I'll scam you out of all your money. Back in January of 2000, which even predates YouTube by a few years, Machinima, at the time a video sharing platform, was created by Hugh Hancock. It was mainly popular for making gaming videos, a lot of which were footage recorded within the game itself, specifically games like Halo, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and even Super Smash Bros. Melee. It was just a genre of videos called Machinimas. There are more as well. Each had many series of videos recorded from inside the games with the help of mods. While Machinima was pretty successful for its few years, on February 14th, 2005, a brand new video sharing platform was launched. And look, I don't know if you guys heard of this. It's called, YouTube. I think it fell off almost immediately, Don't even think you're using it right now. Anyways, YouTube took over the entire world and made just about every other video sharing platform obsolete. This kind of included Machinima, but I say kind of because instead of going down like this, Machinima adapted a if you can't beat him, join him mentality and actually partnered with YouTube. This was after Hugh Hancock left the company in 2006, and in late 2010, Machinima revamped their website and removed stuff like the forums as well as the ability to upload videos, thus now completely removing the sole aspect that was competing with YouTube. Now, after shifting their focus on actual Machinima content, their new focus was now on their many YouTube channels. Machinima went from being YouTube before YouTube to being an inferior version of YouTube to being a part of YouTube. And many of the series on Machinima were popping off. It was home to a podcast, a news show, original programming, and even developed channels like Primer, which was home to shows like Halo 4, Forward Unto Dawn, and Prank Lab. Primer wasn't the only channel they developed though, as they also had Happy Hour, which was home to many shows like Battlefield Friends and Sonic for Hire. In late 2012, Machinima became the fourth biggest channel on YouTube, with over 5 million subscribers, only being beaten by Smosh, Niga Higa, and Ray William Johnson. Machinima was doing very well, and also had partners on YouTube like Darkside Phil, SSO HPKC, Zach Scott Games, The Rad Brad, and Toy Pudding, among many, many others. Hell, even Pyrocynical, Keemstar, and PewDiePie were partnered with Machinima at one point. However, things started to crumble a bit. As now a multi-channel network, Machinima had over 5,000 partners worldwide who were contracted to produce video content under the Machinima brand. While this seemed impressive, it was later revealed that Machinima was using perpetual contracts. In case you don't know what a perpetual contract is, it refers to the right of ongoing access to electronic materials. In situations where digital materials are licensed, the access to these materials are often lost after the licensing has expired. Let me put it in perspective. What if you were uploading YouTube videos and you were under a contract that said once the contract ended, you do not have any ownership over those videos? That is kind of what a perpetual contract is, and Machinima had their partners under all those. In 2013, Brain Deadly, a YouTuber at the time, made these contractual issues known to the public. Additionally, under the terms of his contract, Machinima was permitted to place ads on Vaca's videos, and in return, he would receive a percentage of the profits generated. However, the contract also disclosed that it existed, quote, in perpetuity, which, if you don't know, means Machinima would hold the rights to any content created by Vaca's, published on his partnered YouTube channel in his lifetime, which is a detail Vaca's failed to read. While that was shitty, in January of 2014, Machinima was allegedly paying YouTube partners to make Xbox One content. While that doesn't sound too bad, Machinima put in the agreement that creators are not allowed to say anything negative or damaging about the company. This shouldn't be a red flag, as most companies like to have a clean image, but it was a major red flag in hindsight. Additionally, the agreement states that the creator must keep the details of the promotional agreement confidential, and if they don't, they do not qualify for the promotional payment. The crazy thing about this whole promotion with Microsoft and the Xbox One is that Microsoft themselves claim that they had no idea about this. On September 2nd, 2015, Machinima agreed to settle Federal Trade Commission charges that it engaged in deceptive advertising by paying creators to post YouTube videos that endorsed the Xbox One and several games on the console. The FTC claimed that the creators failed to sufficiently disclose that they were being paid for their seemingly objective opinions. Under the proposed settlement, Machinima was not allowed to have similar deceptive conduct in the future, and they were required to ensure their influencers were clearly disclosed when they were compensated for their endorsements. According to the FTC's complaint, Machinima and its influencers were part of an Xbox One marketing campaign managed by Microsoft's advertising agency Starcom MediaVest Group. Machinima actually guaranteed Starcom that the influencer videos would be viewed at least 19 million times. Following Machinima's shady practices, many YouTubers who were then former partners of the network, such as Keemstar, Pyrocynical, and even PewDiePie, would make videos talking about the scumbaggery of Machinima.
YouTube pretty much runs itself anyway. As long as I keep producing content, they'll promote me, I'll get exposure, and hopefully I'll be able to grow my channel. About 4 to 5 months pass and nothing. My channel doesn't grow at all. Views are still dead. I got about 200 to 300 views a video. I mean, for some people that sounds like a lot, but I wanted to grow and there was no growth. All the analytics were just in a straight line. There was no growth, no subs, nothing. It all stayed exactly the same. And then I had a bit of an epiphany and thought to myself, wait a second, Machinima are taking 40% of my earnings for absolutely nothing. They have not helped me in any way, and yet they're taking 40% of my earnings every month. So eventually
In February of 2018, Since Machinima were acquired by Warner Bros. Digital Networks, Machinima revealed a brand new logo and along with plans to revert back to gaming-oriented content. In June of that year, Warner Bros.' parent company, Time Warner, purchased AT&T, who own Otter Media, which runs multi-channel networks like Fullscreen and Rooster Teeth, both of which had a lot in common with Machinima. After the purchase, AT&T bought Sherman Group's stake in the company, which made Warner Media the sole owner. It was then reported in November of 2018 by Deadline Hollywood that AT&T were going to merge Machinima into Otter Media. Then, after the merger went ahead with a large reorganization of Otter Media, and after many of the shady and scummy practices, whether it was scummy contracts that took a chunk of the creator's revenue, or it was shady advertising, it was announced that Machinima laid off all 81 employees and killed all further operations. While definitely influential when it comes to gaming content on the internet, no one really mourned the death of Machinima. Machinima falls under a great example of the quote, "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain." When YouTube started, gaming content was actually little to come by. It's not like what it is today, where a good portion of the content on YouTube is made up by gaming. But they became the villain by making it very difficult for their partners to have any sort of long-term monetary success. However, that's not to say Machinima did not leave an impact on YouTube. I mentioned how gaming content probably wouldn't exist if it weren't for Machinima, or at least exist how it does today if it weren't for Machinima. But also, all the little cartoons like Sonic for Hire and, the Halo web series, they inspired many creators to create animations on YouTube based off of video games. Not to mention, YouTube has their own semi-side platform, I don't really know what to call it, in YouTube Gaming. And also, as stated earlier, many of YouTube's biggest creators got their start with Machinima. So while Machinima died a horrible death, I think we do kind of owe them, a bit of, what we love about YouTube to Machinima. So in a weird way, thanks Machinima. Also, fuck you, scumbags. So that was this edition of The In-Depth Detective. I'm The In-Depth Detective. You got an idea for a video, an episode about a game, a movie, a show, a company, a YouTube drama? Who knows, maybe I want to get my feet wet there? Let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to subscribe, or I will scam you out of all of your money. Bye!